Hello, friends. The Department for Work and Pensions does not apply the same rules to everyone. Depending on the year you were born, your state pension entitlement is different. The number of qualifying national insurance years on your record is different, and the time you have left to fill the gaps that are quietly reducing your pension permanently is different. Most people assume their national insurance record is fine. They worked. They paid in for decades. They contributed. But there are gaps on millions of records across the United Kingdom right now. Gaps from career breaks. Gaps from years spent raising children. Gaps from periods of self-employment where contributions were missed or not fully recorded. Gaps from time working abroad. And because the Department for Work and Pensions will not ring you to tell you your pension is lower than it could be, most people do not find out until they are already receiving less than they are entitled to, sometimes hundreds of pounds less, every year, for the rest of their lives. What I am going to walk through today is exactly how the calculation works, what each birth year group needs to know, and the one step which takes less than 10 minutes that could be worth more than £6,000 over your retirement. Before we go any further, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications bell. The rules around voluntary national insurance contributions change. Deadlines change. Contribution rates change. And when any of that happens, HMRC and the Department for Work and Pensions do not send you a personal letter explaining how the update affects your specific record. They change the policy and expect you to already know. The people subscribed here find out before it costs them. Now, let us start with the number that matters. The full new state pension in 2026/27 is £241.30 per week. That is £12,547.60 a year. To receive that full amount, you need 35 qualifying years on your national insurance record. To receive anything at all, you need a minimum of 10 qualifying years. Every year you are short of 35 reduces what you receive. And every year you have the opportunity to fill and do not fill is a decision with a specific, measurable financial consequence attached to it. Here is what one missing year actually costs you. A single voluntary national insurance contribution to fill one gap on your record costs approximately £960 in 2026. That is a Class 3 voluntary contribution, the standard route for most people looking to fill missing years. When that year is credited to your record, your state pension increases by approximately £6.89 per week. That is £358 per year. For the rest of your life, the £960 investment pays for itself in just under 3 years. Over a 19-year retirement, which is approximately what life expectancy gives someone reaching state pension age at 67 today, a single filled year returns approximately £6,800 in total additional pension income. That is not an investment product. That is not a pension scheme with risk attached. That is a government-backed, guaranteed, inflation-linked return that millions of people have never had explained to them in those terms, simply because nobody sat down and explained what the rules actually are for their specific situation. And if you were self-employed for any period, it is worth checking whether Class 2 contributions apply to your gaps rather than Class 3. Class 2 contributions cost approximately £179 per year, substantially less than the £960 Class 3 rate and cover certain periods of self-employment. That is a difference worth confirming before you pay anything. Now, let us look at what this means depending on when you were born. If you were born between 1960 and 1969, your state pension age is 67. You are approaching that date now, or you will reach it within the next few years. This is the group where urgency is highest. Under the standard rules, you can fill gaps from the last 6 tax years. That window is open right now, but it moves forward every April. And any gaps that fall outside it become permanently unfillable. A gap from several years ago that is still within reach today will not be within reach indefinitely. Here's what a shortfall actually looks like in cash terms. If your state pension forecast is currently showing £198 per week instead of £241.30, that is £43.30 per week, below the full entitlement. That is £2,251 per year. Over 19 years of retirement, that uncorrected shortfall costs you more than £42,000, not because of anything complicated, not because of a government error, simply because the gaps on the record were never filled, and nobody checked. The action step for this group: go to the official UK government website and check your state pension right now. You will see your current national insurance record year by year, your projected state pension amount, and any years marked as incomplete or missing. Write down your number of qualifying years and your projected weekly amount. Then call the Future Pension Center on 0800 73 10175. Ask them which gaps are worth filling for your specific record. Ask them to confirm whether Class 3 or Class 2 applies to your situation. And ask them to confirm the deadline for any gaps currently showing as incomplete. Do not pay to fill gaps without making that call first. Not every gap adds the same value, and a specialist will tell you exactly which years to prioritize. If you were born between 1970 and 1977, your state pension age is also 67. You have more time. But more time is not the same as unlimited time. The 6-year window rule means gaps are falling out of reach every single April. The assumption that this can be dealt with later is the assumption that is costing some of you real money every single month. Here is a specific example. If your record currently shows 26 qualifying years and you need 35, that is 9 missing years, at £960 per year to fill each one. The total cost is £8,640. The additional state pension income those 9 years generate is approximately £3,222 per year. The entire cost is recovered in under 3 years. After that, every pound is pure additional pension income every week, every month, for the rest of your life. Permanent, for the rest of your life. If you are not sure whether you have credits on your record from periods when you were not working, time caring for children, or time receiving certain benefits, this is also something the Future Pension Center can check. National insurance credits from child benefit, carer's allowance, and universal credit can all count toward qualifying years. You may already have more years than your record appears to show. Or you may have gaps that credits should have filled but were never properly recorded. The action step for this group is the same. Go to the official UK government website to check your state pension. Count your qualifying years and call 0800 731 0175. Ask specifically about any gaps within the last 6 tax years and what each one is worth filling. If you were born after April 5, 1977, your state pension age is currently set at 68, though this is under government review and may increase further. You have time. But here is what this group consistently misses. Gaps are already accumulating in your record right now. Career breaks, periods between jobs, gaps in self-employment, time in further education. None of these automatically fill themselves. Every year you do not pay Class 3 or Class 2 contributions. And every year you are not credited through a qualifying benefit is a year that may need addressing later. For this group, the single most important thing to understand is that gaps which fall outside the 6-year window cannot be filled. They are gone permanently. Checking your record now, not at 60. Not when you are 3 years from state pension age. Gives you the widest possible view of what is on your record, what is missing, and which gaps are still within reach. There is no cost to checking. The check at the official government website takes under 10 minutes. The action step for this group: go to the official government website now. Look for any years marked as incomplete or not contributing toward your state pension. Then call the Future Pension Center on 0800 7310 175 and ask which gaps can currently be filled and at what cost. Early awareness is the advantage this group has, and most will not use it. One more thing that applies to every group, regardless of birth year. If you are approaching state pension age and your total retirement income is expected to be modest, you may also be entitled to pension credit. Pension credit is a separate means-tested benefit that tops up your weekly income to a guaranteed minimum of £218.15 per week for a single person in 2026. It is entirely separate from your state pension and your national insurance record. It is estimated that over 850,000 eligible pensioners across the UK are currently not receiving it. Not because they do not qualify. Nobody ever told them the program exists or how to apply. Pension credit also acts as a gateway to the Warm Home discount. £150 off your energy bill, free NHS dental treatment, and help with council tax. DWP will not warn you about this before you claim your state pension. They process the application. To apply, call the pension credit claim line on 0800 99 1, 2, 3, 4. The call takes around 20 minutes, and your entitlement begins from the date you make contact. And if you want to begin the voluntary NI contribution process in writing, you can request the CA 5603 form from HMRC, the official application form to pay voluntary national insurance contributions as a UK resident, which sets out your eligibility and payment options in full. Here is the complete picture. The full new state pension is £241.30 per week, £12,547.60 per year in 2026, 27, and you need 35 qualifying years to receive it in full. One missing year costs approximately £960 to fill and adds £358 per year to your pension for life. A total return of approximately £6,800 over a 19-year retirement. If you were born between 1960 and 1969, your window is the most urgent. Go to the official UK government pension website today and call the Future Pension Centre on 0800 73 10175 immediately. If you were born between 1970 and 1977, the same 6-year window applies. Gaps are falling out of reach every April, and the time to act is now, not later. If you were born after 1977, gaps are already accumulating, and early awareness is the one advantage this group has over the others. And for anyone with a modest retirement income, pension credit may be adding money to your account every single week that you have never applied for. Call 0899 1234 to find out today. Subscribe. When these rules change, you will not receive a letter explaining what it means for your record. Share this with someone you know who is within 10 years of state pension age. One conversation about a national insurance gap can change someone's retirement income for the rest of their life. Hello friends, most people assume their national insurance record is complete. What this video has shown is that for millions of people across the United Kingdom, that assumption is quietly reducing their pension by hundreds of pounds a year. Every year. Permanently, and for many, the gap can still be filled.